What is going on, everybody? This is Gabriel Jones giving you a drop of sound any chance I get. Today we're going to be doing an album reaction to Lil Yachty's latest record. Let's start here. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to Lil Yachty outside of his features on hit songs like Broccoli and I Spy, where he gave us some pretty awkward lines to say the least. I gave a listen to Lil Boat 2, which Apple Music named as his essential album, and I don't really have that many strong feelings about it. But I will say that She Ready and Count Me In are two decent highlights. Needless to say, when people in my community began raving about this album, saying that it was very rock influenced, I was very eager to check it out. I never got around to it until 6 months later, but hey, better late than never, am I right? Before we begin though, I want to advise everyone to leave a like and comment for this video because the more engagement the video receives, the more likely YouTube will pick it up in the algorithm, so I thank y'all for that. Also, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell because I could use all the support in the world and it will put a huge smile on my face. With all of that out of the way, it's time to get into Let's Start Here. Track number 1, The Black Seminole. Ooh. Ooh, wow. I really enjoyed that drumming right there. Kind of tells me he feels very powerless in a way. You know, fighting in a world that's pitted against him. You know, a lot of men can relate to that. Black men specifically. Ooh, yeah! The electric guitar is really getting to me, baby. Let's go! Okay, it seems like the tempo is slowing down quite a bit right now. Those futuristic sounds right there are really cool. Yeah, I was just being entranced by the sounds, but then we just go bombastic again. Diana Gordon really sounds like she's into it right now. Okay, so, Black Seminole. Wow, yes, a pretty solid tune to open up the record with. Yeah, my friends weren't playing when they said that this was going to be a rock record. He's really letting loose here. This is definitely like a very different sound from Yachty's previous work. It's definitely very much leaning into the 70s rock specifically, the psychedelic genre. I wasn't even paying attention to the lyrics that much because I was just enamored by the sound. But from what I'm hearing, there's a little bit of commentary about the struggle of the black community and how they need to fight their way through a system of oppression. He invokes the Black Seminoles, which, from what I'm reading, is an Afro-Indigenous group composed of freed slaves and indigenous people. There does seem to be a bit of connection here where he's sort of like breaking free and sort of really being able to express himself and feeling like he could really conquer the world. You definitely have to appreciate themes like that, especially with the way the entire track is composed. I really like how bombastic the drums are and the electric guitar. Wow, I was fucking going apeshit over that. Diana Gordon also did a splendid job. For some reason, I thought of Florence Welch while listening to her. There are some similarities between their vocals, although that might not be entirely accurate. This is some very impressive work. It makes me eager to see what else we're gonna get. Track number 2, The Ride. Ooh, we're doing a real hype note right now. Tizo Touchdown, really coming in with feature. Ooh, the keyboard melody right there, it's really tying everything together. Wow. Almost like it's white noise, you know, like it doesn't really spark anything. Very classic right now. Very classic right now. Okay, so that was The Ride, and yeah, a much slower jam than what we got previously. We're really hearing the psychedelic sound come through with this track, especially with Tizo Touchdown, you know, providing the vocals. I really like how experimental it gets towards the end, and yeah, it really feels like Lil Yachty is into it right now. The Ride, it seems, is them trying to make their way through society and find success and really find a life that's very fulfilling and satisfying. With the sort of success that Lil Yachty has been able to claim, it really does feel as if he is really finding his path to happiness. Along with Tizo Touchdown, although I'm not entirely sure how popular he is, but you know, hopefully he's in a place of bliss. The journey has proven to be very tumultuous at times, but you know, they are making their way there. Yeah, I really like what this track is offering. Not too bad. Track number 3, Running Out of Time. Ooh, funky, plucky bass line. Nice. Yeah, he doesn't like dishonesty. Justine Skye, you know, really blending with Lil Yachty's vocals pretty nicely. Ooh, a little high note right there, sneaking up on me. Okay, so that was Running Out of Time, and yeah, that one is a very like chill, sort of groovy kind of tune. Not groovy in the sense as in disco, but like groovy as in, you know, something you could really bop your head to as you're just kind of mellowing out. From what I get from the song, it's about Lil Yachty trying to convince his lover to stay because they've opened up to each other so much that, you know, it only makes sense that they stay together. But it really feels like their love is falling through, and that's why he keeps saying, we're running out of time. We're just observing as everything is petering out and falling apart, and honestly, it doesn't seem like there's much we can do, no matter how much we try to save it. Justine Skye does a lot to provide some vocals here. It's very nice, very delicate, very easygoing. I really like the bass line of this song, and a lot of the psychedelic sounds, of course, still get to me. But like I said, it's something that you could just really chill out to. It's very calming, and I like that. I think I appreciate that after we got 2 very, very hardcore sort of tunes. Track number 4, Pretty. He feels like a queen, if you know what I mean. Kind of like how the drumming is sort of mixed right here. It plays a really key role. I hope he likes my curly hair too. Sounds like some very satisfying sex. Touché with the monologue. I like that. Pretty is a pretty good track. It just needs to be Lil Yachty posturing and talking about how sexy he looks, you know, taking pride in his appearance. Fouché seems to be the girl that he's hooking up with on the song, and they seem to be really getting it on, and she's very attracted to him. I remember Fouché played a huge role in Steve Lacy's Gemini Rights, which I talked about last year. She was fantastic on that record, and she's doing some heavy lifting on this tune also. Again, it's very relaxing, sort of like Running Out of Time, only this time it seems to be about a relationship that's going well. I have to say, for a psychedelic song, that ain't too bad. Track number 5, Failure. There's like a real build up to it, you know? I like that. And the bittersweet guitar that comes along with it. Really beautiful.
I say quote unquote because, you know, one man is rich to the next can be steps from poverty.
You know, putting everything into perspective, I like that.
Yeah, so when I broke into my house, I felt like, well, I'm certain they needed what I did.
I'm sure there's celebrities that have dealt with that scenario plenty of times before.
Should try a bit harder.
I like that, you know, find a way to put yourself up back on your feet and keep moving forward. Okay, Failure. That is an interesting track. It's not so much a song, but rather a monologue Lil Yachty is reciting to himself. Not even reciting, he's just kind of freestyling off the top of his head and just really reflecting on all of the experiences he's had as he's become famous. He's talking about all this newfound success has really changed him and helped him look at life in a new and interesting way. He even takes the time to think about how he's processed failure, you know, all of the ideas that never came to fruition or didn't turn out the way I wanted them to. That doesn't mean that my career is over. It just means that I need to relook at things and really try to take another step in order to get to where I want. He has the courage to lift himself up again, and it's almost like the angelic choir is like cheering him on. And of course, that bittersweet guitar, man. I was just hooked instantly when he played that. Honestly, it's a great motivational track, and I think anybody who has ever dealt with failure can sort of connect with it. I think this is going to be something that's going to stick with a lot of fans. Track number 6, The Zone. Yeah, I'm a little too high to sort of find my way back to my own place. Sunshine and moonlight, you know, they come in handy for different reasons. Wow! The cymbal work right there, just acting all chaotic and loud. Woo! It's Justine Skye playing the wife that awaits him. This outro guitar. Not too bad. Yeah, I think Lil Yachty is getting into it right now. Okay, we got The Zone, and I think The Zone in this case might be Lil Yachty's home. He's talking about how whenever he's at home, he feels like, you know, it actually feels like a warm and comforting sort of place until he's all by himself, in which case he just feels lonely and despair, and it just doesn't feel right. Justine Skye, once again playing the lover, and she really wants to know if he's committed to her, if Lil Yachty will stay with her, if the love between them feels genuine. And yeah, the way they construct the entire production really makes it feel like you're going on a trip with them, a psychedelic trip, you know, like a sort of like LSD sort of trip. I can't really say that as someone who's never tried LSD, but I think you get what I mean. This one just feels like you're in outer space, and yeah, this one is a pretty relaxing tune, just like some of the other ones we've had. Track number 7, We Saw the Sun. Yeah, this one definitely feels cosmic, as if you just be lifted up into space and just finding your way towards the sun. A little bit of a hangover going on here. Yeah, that one is in the history books, my friend. He's just kind of snuggling up to his sweetheart as he's just basking in the sun with like a splitting headache. Nobody will see what we saw. I mean, we saw images with that LSD. Okay, now it really feels like we're going at light speed with that sound. Kind of ended with a Bob Ross quote here. I assume that Lil Yachty's a big fan of the painter. We Saw the Sun. Ooh, yeah, that one is a really good one. My interpretation is that Lil Yachty is clearly waking up from a hangover. He got super, super high last night. So high that he literally saw the sun. Which is strange because you could easily look up towards the sky on a beautiful day and see the sun, you know, as long as you're wearing sunglasses, of course. So my interpretation is that he got so incredibly high that he was able to achieve a state of pure bliss. Because the sun is meant to symbolize happy days, days of joy and cheerfulness and delight. And when he claims that he saw the sun, he was able to reach that state with no problems whatsoever. Kind of like, oh my god, you gotta see these pictures I took, you know? Look how happy I am. I was just going all out last night, and I don't think I'll ever be able to go into that state again. I think this is sort of backed up by the Bob Ross quote where he talks about how, you know, don't try to plan out how you're gonna, you know, put together a painting, just do it. You spend all this time just wondering how it's gonna turn out that you just didn't really get into it. He's just saying stop worrying about what the future holds and just chase whatever you want to chase. For this track, I really do enjoy the drumming, and I really love the guitars, you know, how they really make you feel as if you're going off into space. It's not too different from the instrumentation we've heard on the previous tracks, but it still does a lot to enhance the tune. Honestly, this might be one of my favorite songs in the LP so far. It's very impressive. Track number 8, Drive Me Crazy. Okay, I'm digging the funk on this one. They kind of have that bond going on right there. Ooh! Kind of chanting at the same time, everybody. Every day of the week, every month of the year, baby. I need you by my side. Ooh, and a hint of violins right there, too. Just being so romantic. Ooh, synthesizers, baby. Synthesizers. It's really getting to me. Ooh. It seems like we're kind of easing our way back into the psychedelic sound at this point with the third verse. Okay, so Drive Me Crazy. Yeah, that one is another really good one, like for real. I really love Diana Gordon's performance on this tune. She works very well with Lil Yachty, playing a couple that really appreciate each other and don't want to see each other split apart. This one is an easy standout because of the production. It seems to take a much more soulful direction than what we've been hearing throughout the record so far. But honestly, I don't really mind that break in sound. Not as much as Lightning on Jessie Ware's That Feels Good. Because, you know, it's still taking us back to the old school, taking us back to like the 60s and 70s. It's really keeping up with the time period. And what I like is how the psychedelic sound comes creeping back in, and that seems to be the point where they're like really getting it on. That's another thing the song does better than Lightning, doing a smooth transition back into the theme of the album. This one is going to be another fun song to visit, I can see it now. Track number 9, I've Officially Lost Vision. Those sounds do cause me a little bit of anxiety, not gonna lie. Okay, we're going really, really fucking hard with the sound right now. Ooh, kind of had a very rough night of partying and struggling to make his way back to his place. Yeah, us Joneses are very hard to keep up with. Diana Gordon. Jesus Christ, she's great. Oh man. Are they separating? I'm just trying to survive at this point. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it sounds like he's really struggling to find his way home now. Okay, wow. I've Officially Lost Vision is a very heavy track, I gotta say. It seems that Lil Yachty is very high on LSD, the drugs are really getting to his brain, and he's struggling to find his way home. From what it seems like, he eventually does find his way home, but his girl, Diana Gordon, is just not putting up with it. She seems to be tired of all these drugs that he's taking, and now it's like she just wants nothing to do with him anymore. All the memories we created together are gonna evaporate, and we are just not gonna have a relationship anymore. In a lot of ways, this song feels incredibly sad because it almost feels like the relationship is dying. It really comes out at you because Diana Gordon has appeared in multiple tracks at this point, and she claims that she really loves Lil Yachty and wants to stick with him, but it seems like this drug addiction is breaking them apart. The chaotic instrumentation is a testament to that, you know, with the drums and cymbals going crazy. And yeah, that heavy breathing towards the end, it's almost like he's kind of struggling to keep himself awake, struggling to keep his brain intact. It sounds like he's on the verge of a breakdown and he just can't hold it together. Yeah, that song is like a real heartbreaker. Like, I was just in awe at what I was listening to. I did not expect this album to get that heavy, but wow, it just came out at me. Track number 10, Say Something. This kind of has like a bit of an R&B influence to it. I like it. He's embracing his inner Katy Perry. Ooh, that heavy bass line. I kind of dig it. Yeah, I really want to make sure that we're on the same page in terms of communication. Ooh, we're just changing up the tone right now. He's like in a state of bliss, but in a state of desperation also. Okay, so that was Say Something, and yeah, that seems to be a pretty straightforward track when it comes to the content. Lil Yachty is putting his heart on his sleeve. I don't have any long sleeves, but you get what I'm saying. The point is that he really wants to communicate with his partner and really make something spark, making sure that she loves him just as much as he loves her. Again, it's almost like a track of desperation. You can almost feel bad for Lil Yachty as he's displaying his feelings so explicitly. I really like the R&B influence on this track. I really like how they changed up the tone a little bit. The nice little segue into the next track, Paint the Sky, that was also really clever. It's very calming, it has a nice drum line to it. Yeah, that's what I have to say about this song. Track number 11, Paint the Sky. Ooh, nice Nice little build up right here. Yeah, it's just so overwhelming. Again, the drums are very reminiscent of maybe even the 80s, I would have to say. Maybe it's the 80s. I could literally reach up to the sky and just go all Bob Ross on it. Paint the Sky. Yeah, that one is pretty straightforward again. He's just saying that he would do anything to win over her love. I can create a beautiful scene up in the clouds just for you, baby. It's very reminiscent of the 80s, like something that maybe even The Weeknd would produce. Like, it does have that very sort of Weeknd sort of sound to it. It's just a state of euphoria, honestly. And really, that's all I have to say about Paint the Sky, so we can just move forward. Track number 12, Should I Be? Ooh, maybe like there's some cheating going on. Disloyalty. Yeah, I have all these little plans just for you. Like, I'm spending my money, my time. It's unbelievable. Ooh, wow. Wow, the guitar work on this song is great for the outro. Love it. Okay, so, Should I Be? That one is an interesting song because it seems to be Lil Yachty asking himself if he's like putting too much effort into the relationship. His lover seems to have compromised the relationship in some sort of way. We don't know if maybe like she cheated on him or if there was some big arguments or maybe she made a horrible decision that didn't involve infidelity. Who knows? But it seems like Lil Yachty deep down is really heartbroken by what she had done, and now he's asking himself, am I doing too much to win her back? Is it time to let her go and find a new partner, perhaps? I don't know if I should be wasting this much energy on someone who doesn't want to give it in return. For some reason, I really like the vibe of this song, you know, the hard, like, 70s sound. Oh, it sounds great. And you can tell there's some sadness in his voice when he hits those high notes. Should I be, should I be, should I be? Yeah, another really, really fantastic song, honestly. Track number 13, The Alchemist. We're just continuing from the last tune, you know, segueing into the new track. Probably talking about his career, you know, the success he's garnered. Sucker! I love how he says that. Fouché just giving us those sweet, sultry vocals. Mwah. Like, it just really seems to be building up just so crazily right now. And now we're just floating in the sky, just so softly. Yo, Fouché, you're just getting to my heart. And then we got an organ. Beautiful. Okay, so The Alchemist. Yo, that one was a very interesting tune. My best guess is that this is about Lil Yachty reflecting on how good the high life feels, you know, now that he's a big-time superstar. He's able to relax in the water, drink pink lemonade, and just really, like, get high off of drugs. He's able to share that with his partner, who Fouché is playing in this song, and she gives us those amazing vocals, like those very tranquil sort of production. Like, for real, like, I almost felt like crying when I heard her deliver those lines. Like, oh my god, like, that production paired with her delivery, beautiful. It's gonna take a while for me to get over how beautiful that sounded, but yeah, it really did touch my heart. But now I think it's time to get into the final track of the entire record. Track number 14, Reach the Sunshine. Daniel Caesar laying down some echoey vocals right now. There's something very eerie about the way the song is constructed, along with this like acoustic guitar. Okay, the synth's just creeping up on me, man. Yeah. Just embrace them so you can know how to control them and really like move past them. Wow, the drum roll right there. Oh, so expertly crafted. The cymbal work, you know, during this interlude just really does a lot of heavy lifting. And then we got these backup vocals, almost as if they're like ghosts calling out to Lil Yachty. I can only imagine what the crowd would look like during the closing track at the concerts. Ooh, there it is, that cosmic melody we heard in the beginning. Okay, so that was Reach the Sunshine, and yeah, I really did feel like I was being elevated off the ground. Daniel Caesar joins Lil Yachty on this song where they seem to be doing a lot of introspective looking. Again, he really seems to be taking a lot of drugs and, you know, going in and out of space. He feels as if he's being lifted towards the sun, you know, the sky serving as a huge symbol throughout his entire LP. He's finding a way to work out his demons and, you know, really cope with them. Sometimes it's not as healthy as it could be, but, you know, that's just his way. It sounds incredibly dreary and trippy, but I'm pretty sure that was the mood he was going for. And yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of his listeners and even his concert goers will be enlightened as they're listening to this song. It is quite an interesting song, to say the least. Not entirely my jam, but, you know, there's an audience for it. With that, I think I'm going to take a break. I'll come back once I've listened to the album a second time, and I'll give my final thoughts, so bear with me. Alright, I am back and I'm ready to give you my final thoughts on Lil Yachty's Let's Start Here. I don't think it's unfitting to call this one of the biggest surprises in music this year. Who would have guessed that this SoundCloud rapper would produce a psychedelic rock LP with some of the best features 2023 has to offer? It almost reminds me of when Machine Gun Kelly rebranded himself as a rock star in 2019. I say almost because Lil Yachty's work is definitely more refined. And it wasn't caused by him getting humiliated in a diss track. What I appreciate the most about Let's Start Here is how much it's able to set a mood. One minute you feel like you're chilling on the couch, the next it feels as if you're floating with the stars after dropping some acid. And then you're waking up with your sweetheart after a really awesome trip. On that note, I noticed that the sky is very symbolic throughout the tune. It could represent the happiness that Yachty is chasing throughout his life of fame, since he's reaching for the sun and flying throughout the sky while he's on a trip. When it comes to instrumentation, I think my favorite aspect is the drumming. The way it evokes so much excitement in the listener is something to appreciate. It's also interesting to see Lil Yachty reflect on all the glory he's attained, and the family that he started for himself. But of course he sings about all the drugs he takes, and all the satisfaction they give him. Lil Yachty definitely has some insecurities to deal with, and it doesn't feel like the battle is over for him quite yet. But he has plenty of optimism that he can put them under control. He knows exactly where to start, and I'm very confident he'll know how to finish. I give Let's Start Here 3.5 out of 5 stars. My favorite tracks would have to be Say Something, Should I Be, and Drive Me Crazy. My least favorites would have to be Pretty, Running Out of Time, and The Black Seminole. And that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this album reaction. I had a blast with this one. I hope you did too. It surprised me quite a bit, and yeah, I just left with a lot of satisfaction. If you want to follow me on social media, be sure to check out my Twitter, my Twitch, and my TikTok. The links are going to be in the description. And that is where we're going to wrap up. My name is Gabriel Jones, and the sun may be setting, but I hope you're able to soak up those drops. Take care.